No, thank you. That's quite big enough from AB de Villiers. That's the biggest boundary on the ground.
Good afternoon and welcome to Coach Greg. Today we are going to be focusing on using our feet against spin, specifically advancing down the wicket, otherwise known as double stepping. There are two forms of double stepping. First, you get the crossover, where the back foot goes behind the front foot in the motion forward, and then you get the shuffle, where the heels actually make contact with each other. Zenden is going to quickly show you both methods. That's the crossover, and that is the shuffle. As you can see with both, the head drives forward nicely, and it is a big first step to get the motion going, and a smaller second step to make sure that there's a solid base.
Allotment of 10. Down the wicket. Beautiful shot from Virat Kohli.
Something like it's a little too straight to me. I'll take him down the ground.
For both of these double stepping methods, there are pros and cons. With the crossover, you get further down the pitch and it's a bit more fluid, but you also initially go slightly away from the ball and then directly towards it again. With the shuffle, it is one movement towards the ball, but it is a bit more static and you get less distance off it. Zenden uses the crossover method. So for the purpose of this demonstration, that is what we are going to be seeing. Zenden is going to show us now in a slow motion way how we go through each process. So as you can see, he's now in his stance. The first step will be a big step going forward. As you can see, the head is already forward, the knee is slightly bent, and the back leg is already crossing over. The next step will be slightly smaller, to set his base that he can hit from, making sure that the shot itself is still played from a strong, stable base. A double step towards a stationary ball. The ball is stationary to make sure that his foot gets towards the pitch. Then he's going to play a nice drive through the line of the ball. You can see at the end that his weight transferred completely through and the momentum took him forward. That is perfectly okay. To get the feel of a bouncing ball, I'm now going to go stand a little bit in front of the batsman and pop the ball up. The batsman is then going to double step towards the ball and hit it on the second bounce. What I want you to pay attention to is that Zenden is crossing over at the back, but at the end of the shot he is still going towards the ball, with his whole body leaning in towards it, making sure his head's over the point of contact.
The natural progression from this point on is to go to underarms to actually feel what it feels like to have a moving ball come towards you.
We are now going to do an overarm drill to get the full feel of a ball coming from a higher trajectory towards a batsman.
Shot.
There we go.
Better.
This concludes today's video. There are a couple of key factors to remember.
The first key factor is to remember that when advancing down the pitch, we want to advance towards the ball to make sure that everything is in line when we're making contact with the ball.
The next part is to keep your eye line very stable during the advancement so as to not cause an up and down effect.
And the final factor to remember that is if you do advance on the pitch and you see that you are not perfectly in line, please make sure that you get at least some of the bat or some of the body behind the ball so that you don't get stumped and therefore lose your innings.
And then